Hello, this is Kelley with Xybix. We are here at Benton County's Communications Center. I have Jessica Mayfield with me. She's their director, and thanks for having us.
Of course.
So, what made you decide to take on this project?
So when I started here, I realized that the consoles that were in dispatch were the same consoles that were put in when the building was built in 2004. A lot of features on the consoles were broken. They had the sit to stand, but none of them worked. They would be working and their keyboard tray would just drop. And so they'd have to, situate it back up and kind of get it to stay. There was cords everywhere. You could tell it was just a very dismal place to come to work. They just came in and it just was what it was and has been that way since like 2004. So.
Wow. So walk me through the process a little bit with how you selected the vendor that you did, being Xybix, and the overall process with Xybix in terms of picking the design, the colors, all those options that are offered.
So I came in contact with Xybix at one of the conferences a few years back, and I really liked the products. I had looked at other vendors, and they didn't offer everything that I was looking for, whereas Xybix, they checked all the boxes. So my sales rep and I, we remained in close contact, and when I was ready to kind of jumpstart the project, she was right there ready to lead me in whatever direction I needed to go. And she was super helpful. She put me in contact with the designer. You guys sent me samples, from every customizable feature we could get, whether it be carpet, the panels, the desktops, the covers for the doors. I had a ton of options. And the way that we chose them was I put it out to the team and kind of let them decide what color of carpet, what color scheme we wanted to go with, what desktop they liked the best, how they wanted it kind of laid out. We had a ton of options, and Christine was our designer, and she would send me a design, and then we would kind of look at it, and we'd be like, yeah, we're going to go a different way. So we sent back and forth multiple designs. She was super great to work with, very patient with us as we kind of went through all of the changes that we decided to go with.
So what else did you do as part of this complete remodel, and what kind of services did Xybix offer you during that process?
Yeah, so we had flooring in there, and it was like, I don't know what the tile is called.
Laminate flooring.
Yeah, but it covered, so we have access panels and like a drop floor, and it covered the entire floor, making it almost impossible to get into those access panels. So another thing we wanted to change was obviously get rid of that, and Xybix also offered to do the carpet, and we decided to go with that. You guys did, everything. We did lockers. So before, they had these little bitty, I don't even know, they're like cubicles that they would put their stuff in, very small.
Right.
And Xybix showed me the lockers, and that it might be my favorite part. So we actually moved their little bitty lockers from like a hallway, and we put it into what we used as like a storage room. We turned that into a locker room. And they're big. They can hang jackets. They can put their stuff in there. And they seem to really, really love that part of it too. So
Good. So what's the feedback been from your dispatchers that use it every day?
So they love it. We ended up with, I believe we got all of the options that you guys offered, whether it was the climate control with the heat, the fan. We did all of the lighting that we could, we did the plexi engraving, and it has like our logo, and it's, says Benton County 911 on it, and they can change the colors of their consoles. And they love it. They love that, because in any 911 center, keeping the climate just right is impossible.
Right.
You've got ones that are cold, ones that are hot. So the heaters, I believe that they get used every single day, because, you have the air down, keep it cool,
Right.
and then the ones that get cold can turn those heat vents on, and they love it. Everybody enjoys how clean and new and fresh it is out there, and they're no longer coming into a center where everything's broken and just dirty, and now they have something to be proud of. So I believe that they like coming to work because they get to work in an environment that's not only healthier to work in, but also more conducive to work. They can get comfy, and I mean, they're here for 12 hours, so
Right.
they can stand, they can sit, they can adjust the climate. So I think they really enjoy it.
Good. That's great. So during the process of the installation that was done, we had to collaborate with other vendors that are local resources. How did all that go, and how did that come about?
So we had to have an electrician come in. We had to have our radio and our phone vendors, and we had to pull all new lines and rework everything under the floor because we changed the layout. So, and we added a console. So we didn't just, pull out the old and put in the new. We
Right.
completely renovated the entire room. I will say that my IT had to move the consoles into our conference room and set up in there, and that's where we dispatched. So that went smooth. But then when you guys showed up, everything from start to finish, I was told it would take, I think 3 weeks for all the remodel, and we had a couple of hiccups. One with the flooring, but there was no we're gonna have to wait a week because we can't do that. You guys got in there. I mean, you got in there and you were busting up the tile and just making it happen. And we were able to move back in within 4 days. So we were able to transition back into our renovated center way earlier than expected, which made everybody happy because dispatching in the conference room was not ideal at all.
Right.
So
now that the project's done, you finished it, is there anything that you would do different?
I don't do differently, no. I mean, the only thing that I would do different now is add some sound absorption panels. That's really the only thing I look to add or even change in that dispatch room. But, we had a layout where it was kind of an X before, and you couldn't see your partner. If you wanted to see them, you had to stand up and kind of get their attention.
Right.
It puts them all together, and they thought that maybe it would be too much noise, having your partner right there, or too chaotic. But I find that they're not only working better, but they're working better as a team because they're all right there. Nobody is blocked off. You see your partner, you can hear better what your partner's doing, which makes, your job easier if you have to dispatch response. And they turn around, they laugh, they joke. I mean, it's a whole different atmosphere in there from the floor to the ceiling.
So have you had any tours here? Have you had anybody else come in and look at what you've done and kind of really accomplished here? Because it really looks nice.
We actually had an open house. Once we got all of the stuff in. We did it around Telecommunicator Week. We kind of coordinated that. We had a big barbecue and open house to kind of showcase the changes. Because if anybody has worked in Benton County from 2004 to the day that we did the remodel, it was the same. They saw the same thing. So a lot of those people came and looked at the center, and they were just in awe. This doesn't even look like the same place, they would say. And oh my gosh, it's so nice. And so we've even had IT people or other vendors that have come in, that they work at desks or whatever. They've asked, where did you get these? And so I always give them your guys' information. We had one of our government offices, they are getting ready to move into a different building, and they're looking for desks, and they actually came over and wanted to look at the desks, see the features of the desks. So I did that, and again, sent them your information. So we haven't had any negative response to anything that we've done out there. It's all been positive, whether it's from the workers or from people that come in and see it for themselves.
That's great. Explain to me why we're here, and kind of what's a few of the things that we offered to you during this process, and really why we're actually here.
Okay, so you guys offered to do a recruitment, kind of a showcase video of what we've done here. And you arrived yesterday, and we spent the day in the blazing heat, basically getting video footage of our responders and kind of our resources, what we have available here in Benton County. And then you did some interviews with my staff, and I hope that we're going to show in that video the amazing consoles and, of course, show off the dispatch room. But what we will use this video for is to try to show people why Benton County is going to be the right place for them. I mean, we offer a lot. It's got a lot of heritage, the lakes, but also why they should work at Benton County 911. And I'm hoping that this video will show the unity and that this is it's a fun place. It's hard work, but it's a fun place, and you get to do it in a cool environment. So,
what advice or what tips would you offer other directors or managers if they're deciding to or looking at taking on a project like this?
I would tell them to do their research, talk to multiple vendors, and make sure they're clear on what they want, what those vendors offer, and just make sure they pick the right vendor for whatever project they're doing in their center, whether it's new desks or a full top to bottom remodel. I would also tell them that the pre-planning phase is going to be crucial to how smooth everything goes. I know that when we did our pre-planning phase, you came down here, we met with my commissioners, and obviously they're the ones that were going to sign off on this project. So you guys helped me explain to them kind of the technical aspects and the ins and the outs, and why certain things were needed or whatever. And then we also took time to kind of put you in contact with all of the vendors that were going to be a part of this project as well. And I do remember we had conference calls, and there was a lot of emails back and forth, right. A lot of communication, and I would say that's key. And then just make sure that you have a vision, and you make sure that you pick a vendor that shares your vision. And I think you guys did that beautifully for us.
So thank you for letting us come out and taking the time to sit down with us and talk with us and letting us shoot this video for you. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for all that you guys did for us, for the remodel and for the recruitment video.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about our services or what we offer, we're here to help.